All right, in this video, I was out with my kayak doing just some fishing, public little pond, city lake, and wasn't doing too good with conventional stuff. Throwing around a worm, throwing around a Cinco, just nothing was really going that good. So right before I left, I tied on a buzzbait just for the fun of it to see if I could get any topwater fish, and got lucky. Here's a couple fish from that video or from that day, and a couple topwater blow ups. I didn't catch very many fish. I didn't fish for very long, just right there at the tail end of the day, which seems like the best time, but I'll show that footage, and then afterwards I'll just talk a little bit about what I did to modify the spinnerbait or the buzzbait just a little bit. So here's that video. See those right there? Those stick-ups? Right here? See that you can barely see the little stick-ups.
All right.
Where that slick water's at?
Yeah, I see them.
I wonder if these fish even hit a buzzbait. I mean, they've seen it all. What are the odds that they're gonna fall for something noisy, obnoxious? Reaction type bait.
Let's give it a shot here. Got a little gold one. Got that one. Got a white one. And then throw. I'll put this one right here. Make a cast with this first. Got it where it'll clack on there. This is an 8-2 to 1. It makes it pretty easy to run this thing. I mean, as soon as I start turning, it's on bone top. Subsurface buzzing, man. Only way I can get these fish to hit it. Maybe not. Little guy. There we go. Fish hit it and quit clacking. Number 2. I don't even know how I got this fish hooked. Better. Black. Oh no. I really did bend my blade out that time. There we go. If I catch a 10-pounder, it's gonna be like one and done on this oh dang, got salad in my boat here. It's gonna be one and done on this whole spinnerbait if I catch it. Oh, mucho muy grande. And the stuff's shallow. I saw a weight back in there. Yep. There's one sitting back in there. Crud all over my spinnerbait. Why do I keep saying spinnerbait? My buzzbait. Gosh dang. There it is. Oh, don't get off. No, don't do that. Now I gotta remember who made this buzzbait. Big Bite, maybe? They come in a pack with these things on there. Make a shad one and then make this black one. And if you bend the blade, it'll impact the head on it. I don't know why it doesn't come that way. When you take it out of the package, it's like a regular buzzbait, but I noticed that the shank on it is so short that you can bend it down. I wouldn't say it's a malfunction.
All right, so that's a few of the fish that I caught. This is the actual buzzbait that I was throwing. You can see all the paint is gone off the head of it. What I did was, when it comes out of the package, there's some clearance here. And I just took this part and I bent it down. And when you bend it down, it makes contact with it on the way by. And it just does that thunk, 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 you know, that bumping it every time. A lot of people say that you can get your buzz baits to whistle after they get real worn out, that they'll whistle and make a little bit of noise that way. I don't have any that creak and whistle like that. I do have some that I don't fish that way. Here's a bigger one that I can reel a little bit slower, but it doesn't make contact. I could bend it down there maybe where it would make contact, but it would probably not function the way it's supposed to. Here's another one that I fish. It does not make contact with the wire. But almost on all these buzz baits, you can see here, here's the two that impact the head, and then here's two that don't. These are just a few of them, but I don't have any skirted buzz baits anymore. I don't remember who made the video. Somebody made a video out there where they talked about pre-fishing for a tournament, and they were throwing a buzz bait around, and they took the hook and they completely bent this hook where the fish, they could catch fish or get strikes or indicate where fish were at for the tournament, but they didn't want to hook any fish and actually catch them. And man, I wish I could remember who it was, but the guy was essentially, the moral of the whole deal was he was using a soft plastic. I think he said he had a horny toad on the back of there, like a zoom. But and there's a lot of toad style trailers out there. But anyways, I like the little boot-tailed, little shad looking ones, or shad profile. But the guy was basically saying that these fish with a skirted buzzbait would come up, blow up on it, and spit it out. And that whenever he switched over to a buzzbait that had a soft plastic on it, those fish would grab it, hold on to it, and sometimes he could get them all the way up to the boat before it would pull off. So the day of the tournament, he ended up winning the tournament, cashing a check, getting some money, and it was with a soft plastic on the back of a buzzbait instead of a skirt. And from then it was just like no looking back. It went crazy because I think he's seen Greg Hackney or somebody won some money on the Sabine or maybe the Red River, one of those tournaments. They were throwing a buzz bait with a soft plastic, and then it was just like, it was over with. And every buzz bait you see on the shelf now has got a soft plastic. It's hard to find buzz baits unless you get them out of like the dollar bin or something. I've got some of those. Here's like a dollar bin buzz bait that I got. This still got a skirt on it. And what I'll do, I have this on here, but if I were gonna, it's just thrown in my box. If I were gonna fish it, I would probably just pull the skirt off, put a soft plastic on there and fish it. Or some of these, in some cases, I'll take a file and file that lead down where I can do like this, and I can push it up, the soft plastic up over there. There's a lead inside of here, but you can do it with a regular buzz bait. Take a file that lead head down where it'll go inside of a soft plastic, and you can slide it up over there. But yeah, there's some dollar bin ones. You can still find a dollar bin one with a skirt on it, but I don't even know what ounce these are. Doesn't really matter, because when you put a heavy soft plastic on there, it gives you some better castability anyways. The only thing that will happen sometimes when you use a real long one like this, it'll get hung like that. It happens. You make a perfect cast and you wonder why it's not swimming right. It'll be because that hung up on there. That's the only thing I don't like. It probably wouldn't happen as bad with something like this. I'm sure you could get it pinned if a fish hit it or something. But anyways, running a soft plastic on the back of a buzz bait, man, it's a pretty good deal. I'm probably won't go back to the other way. I like it, catches fish, but I normally wouldn't even be throwing a buzz bait. But in those conditions that I was fishing, there's weeds about, I don't know, 6 inches, 8 inches below the surface of the water. So it's perfect for throwing a buzz bait. And I was throwing one that was clacking. It was hitting this head because I'm just searching. I was just throwing it, searching for fish. I wasn't throwing it at targets. If I'm throwing a buzz bait at a specific target and I think there's a fish sitting on there, I don't want it coming past there, making all that noise and clacking and real like disturbance. I'm not trying to draw fish if I'm throwing at something like a little clump of grass, or if I'm throwing it up under boat docks or around anything, I don't need it drawing fish to the bait. A real loud, real obnoxious buzz bait is like a condition for searching for fish, for just blind casting on big open areas of water. That's where I'm trying to make a lot of noise or just aggravate something into hitting it. And I'm not saying that I've never thrown one during the spawn or pre-spawn, but pretty much when I pick up a buzz bait or a prop bait, whopper plop or something, it's usually May, or it's usually right after the fish are done spawning. It's usually when in the hotter months. And I really just throw two colors. I throw a black one or I throw a white one. And it seems to be like they're looking at it, they're just looking at a silhouette of the lure. They're not probably getting a lot of color. It's not registering to them what, you don't need a bunch of fancy different colors. You can get by with just a black one or a white one, or just a black one. I'm usually throwing it late in the evening, but you can fish it through heavy cover. Sometimes grass will get wrapped around this deal. Some certain types of grass, if it's real thick grass, it won't. But I've had real fine hair like grass try to come through there and get wrapped up, and that'll foul up the little props sometimes. But other than that, man, it's just like for me, it gives me something to watch. I think I said it in the video. It gives you something to watch. It gives you something to do. And it's almost like when you're fishing a buzzbait, the whole time you're throwing it, you're just holding your breath, waiting. You're like, oh man, that looks like a good spot. One's fixing to hit it right there or whatever. So it's like it's something I pull out if I'm bored, if I haven't had a good day, or if I'm just, you know what I mean. And the thing about a buzzbait too is they'll produce a big fish. So if you caught a bunch of little fish and you want to maybe try to get something a bigger bite, it's something you could pick up. something you can pick up. Just it takes me back to when I was like a kid throwing a tiny torpedo. My dad would put me on a little tiny torpedo in the back of the boat because it had props on it. And as a kid, I would watch that thing churning up the water, making a bunch of disturbance. And I caught a lot of fish on a tiny torpedo. I still have some somewhere. But anyways, now I've kind of graduated to the adult tiny torpedo, which is a whopper plopper, or I think I got one called a Berkeley chopper. But those are prop baits, man. This is the time of year. If it's getting late, sunset, early in the morning, and I get around somewhere where that looks real fishy, whether it's a big open flat or whether it's a bunch of clumps of grass or clumps of lily pads, and I'm not doing well with soft plastics or something real subtle, I'll try to get one of these out and call one up. And just so happens, you know, y'all saw in the footage it worked on this day, and I wasn't able to catch them on anything else. But there you go. That's my 2 cents on a buzzbait.